Good morning, guys and gals. How's everybody doing this morning? Hope you're doing well. I just got home from work. It's very cold here. I think the temperature at the moment is, 16 degrees. What's the temperature at where you're at? Let me know in the comments. All right, let's start this thing off. I'm going to start it off with showing what I carried last night. This was in my front pocket. The Lion Steel Spy Maitu. Collaboration with Spyderco. Super cool knife. I love the carbon fiber inlays on the titanium on the clip side, and the micarta feels really good on the show side. Very good action on it. Then in my back pocket I had this, the Christensen Maverick S. Another super cool knife. Good hollow grind. It's a little bit of a smaller knife. I usually try to put the smaller one in my back pocket and the bigger one in my front pocket. Let's see, let me wipe it off. Those satin grinds hide a lot of fingerprints, but they don't hide them all. So yeah, that's the Maverick S. Matthew Christensen knives. And the Spy Maitu from Lion Steel and Spyderco. So there we go. What did you carry? What's in your pocket? Let me know in the comments. Whenever you're watching this, live, not live, later, let me know what you're carrying so I can keep up with what's in people's pockets nowadays. According to the topic, we are going to talk about Reddit a little bit. Let's go over there now. Let's see. So, if you're into knives and you're not into Reddit, you should be. Reddit is a great resource for knives and talking about knives, learning about knives, getting deals on knives, all kinds of things. There's lots of knife communities. A few of the ones I'm on are Knives. Knives is just a good resource all around. There's a lot of posts about people's carries, stuff they found, lots of questions about what's your favorite knife. Just all around good resource. They like original knives on Knives. They don't like replica knives, and they don't necessarily like Chinese knives. It's been getting better with the Chinese brands like Kaiser and Kubi and all that. So that's why another group that I'm very active in is Chinese knives. And this, as you see over here to the side, it's about Chinese knives, original, clones, and replicas. All sort of blades and brands. Kevin John, Wild Boar, Vespa. They're very lenient on this subreddit, so you can talk about pretty much any knife you want to. You also get some posting straight from the China manufacturers of the replicas. A lot of cool knife pictures. In fact, that was another subreddit called is it knife porn? No. yeah, knife porn. And it's just people's collections. They've got huge collections. You know, they'll have 7 or 8 Rosies, different styles. They'll have a bunch of different Protean versions. They'll show their everyday carry items, their pins, their firearms, etc. Reddit is a great resource, though. There's also some knives, some subreddits about getting great deals on knives. So on here, whenever somebody finds a really good deal on a knife, they'll post it. And it helps you stay on top of getting the best bang for your buck. So this is a great place to find codes, promo codes, coupons, whenever something goes on sale, etc. There's lots of good quality savings to be found on this page. And then there's also one called Budget Blades, which is kind of the same thing. It's just people talking about, lower budget blades, knives they found on clearance at Walmart, lots of Amazon knives, people talking about the Ozark Trail knives and dyeing them in different colors, making custom scales for them. But Reddit is a great resource for people that are into knives. I guess Reddit is a great place for people into any kind of hobby. It just hooks you up with like-minded people. And then there's Knife Swap. And Knife Swap is one of the best, if not the best, place to find knives on the secondary market. If you want, most all the people in Knife Swap are collectors who take super good care of their knives, and most of them are not carried and have not cut anything and are in like new condition, and you can get them for nearly half of what you would pay regularly. So if you think you can't afford a $300 knife, come to Knife Swap and you might find it for $150 or less. They have lots of rules set up to protect the buyer. And over here to the side, you can see their set of rules. Things have to be structured in the correct way. And they keep up with how many trades or sales swaps that you've had. And as you see, beside this person's name, it tells how many swaps he's had. And until you get to 25 swaps, the only payment option that you can take is PayPal goods and services. So that protects the buyer, because if the person selling doesn't send you the product they promised or doesn't send you anything, then you can always get your money back from PayPal because you didn't receive your good or service. Good in this case. So they have lots of protection things. If anything goes wrong with the shipment, if it gets lost, the seller is automatically responsible for refunding your money, and then he's supposed to deal with the post office or UPS regarding that. When you go in here, they have to have a timestamp and pictures of the knife, and the timestamp has to have the current date and their username so that you know that they've written that down today, to prove that they're not a scammer. And they show you lots of pictures of the knife, and they tell you in great detail what is wrong with the knife, and then they tell you the price. And there is a scammer list built in. There's also a want to buy thread, so if you're looking for a certain knife, you can go in here and post what you're looking for, and other people that have that knife will message you. And as you go through Knife Swap, you will find people that have just crazy amounts of swaps. So this guy has 248 swaps. This guy, let me just show you one of the people that has more than 25. It says they accept all payment methods. So once you get past 25, you're allowed to take any kind of payment method that you choose. which makes it great for people selling knives. You get to Knife God when you get to a certain amount of swaps. This person has 368 swaps. So each post can have multiple knives. This one has, let's see, three knives in it. You can find knives from $10 or $15 up to $2,500, $3,000. It's all about the knife that you're looking for. You can search up here in the top and find the knife you're looking for. There's also some people have made some scripts that are able to search through here, and there's some websites. I think knifegeek.io is one of them. It allows you to search the different subreddits where people sell things and set up alerts for certain knives. So Knife Swap is a great, if not the best place. It's better than eBay. You'll find a larger variety. And if you look over here at the at the top, let's see, or not at the top, but well, I thought it was up here at the very top. It tells how many people. Oh yeah, there's 101,000 members of Knife Swap, and there's 52 people online right at this second. So if you don't know about Knife Swap, now you do. Great place to find knives. Let's see, what do we want to move on to next? Oh yeah, okay. Next we can talk about, let me see, what, I don't even remember what I put in the title. New knives, customs versus production knives. Okay, yeah, that reminds me. I wanted to take a knife and see what y'all thought about the price of some custom knives versus their counterpart in the production knife world. So like there's a Knoll Knives Grace. And this knife was a collaboration between a knife designer named Brandon Corbin of Corbin Steel. So this knife is a production version, and it's $365. But if you type in his company name and the Grace, you will find his knife. That one's sold out. Let's go to a good place to find a lot of knives is Arizona Custom Knives. So let's see. Here's the green micarta. This is the Knoll Knives version. Let's see. Maybe I should just put in his name, Brandon Corbin. His company name doesn't seem to be popping up the Grace. So, let's see. Well, I know he makes one. A custom. Let's see. Arizona Custom Knives. Here we go. Nope, that's a Knoll again. I was trying to find his custom ones. Let's see. Maybe we'll find it on here. No? Well, let's just go back to Reddit. We'll go back to Knife Swap. And we'll type in his name. There's a Primo. Let's go to relevance. Let's go to new. Corbin Grace V2. Here we go. So this is the custom version of that same knife that Knoll Knife makes. And it's made by his company. And as you can see, there's pictures and video of it. It's basically Very, very similar to the Knoll version, but yet it started out, the price was $2,100, dropped to $2,000, $1,900, and now it's at $1,850. He said he won this off a raffle, but you go from a $2,000 knife to a $400 knife. So I'm just curious what everybody thinks about the prices on custom knives. Do you think they're worth it? Do you think... I personally think a person should be paid for their time. So if it took him the equivalent hours to make a decent hourly wage that it costs $2,000, then I feel his custom should cost that much. I myself can't justify paying that much for a knife, especially after they produce a production knife version of it. So I don't buy custom knives myself. There are lots of people on this knife group that have 10 custom knives from the same designer that all cost $2,000 a piece. And they're just in a different league than me. I do have quite a few knives, but I have a limit. I believe no production knife is worth more than $300 to $400 after seeing what you can get for that kind of price. So that's about where I set my limit. And then there are some knives that cost more than that I have gotten some replicas of because I didn't feel justified in paying the price that the people wanted for those knives. So yeah, so we talked a little bit about that. Let me go back to my camera here and talk about what I took to work last night with me. Took another one of these little bags. This bag actually doesn't have a bunch of knives in it like we did yesterday. This one has a knife in it. It has a pair of calipers, my cheap pair that I wanted to take to work with me. And it has a bag full of bearings. So once you get big into knives, you're going to need to replace bearings, and you're going to want to put bearings in knives that come with washers. Some people like washers, I like bearings. So in this bag I have all different sizes of bearings that I've accumulated. Most all of these came from AliExpress. They didn't come from like Skiff. If you don't know about Skiff bearings, they're very nice caged ceramic bearings. I have quite a few sizes of these bearings, as you can see. And some of these are actually almost just like Skiff bearings. I don't know if you can see those. I've got the size written on the package so I can kind of tell. So that's what I took to work with me. I've also got some that are a little larger. These are the ones I took out of the knife in the bag because all the ball bearings had come out of them, so I needed to replace them. Yeah, I've got some of the bigger double row or offset. Those aren't actually double row, those are offset a little. Same with these. These are another one that's I got from China that are very similar to Skiffs. These are good high quality bearings. But what happened is the bearings that I just showed you, these right here, they came out of their cage, got loose, and when I took this knife apart, I had bearings just rolling around everywhere. So I took it with me to work on last night while I was at work. I found the right bearing size that I needed. I did happen to have some. And I swapped it out. And now the action on this knife is perfect. It opens perfect. It drops close. It's perfectly centered, as you can see. It's so good that you can just reverse flick off the blade, even though it doesn't have a fuller or a thumb stud or anything. The blade's big enough on this knife that you can just flick off the blade itself, and then it just drops shut. So don't be afraid to get inside your knives and fix them. That's part of the stuff that I'd like to share on this channel, is making people be able to repair and fix their own knives, or make them like they want them if they're not like they want them. So that is the little project I took to work with me last night. Again, these little bags are made for like phone charger cables. It says on there thumb drives, cables, plugs, but they work awesome to keep knives safe. If you're going to be getting into knives, buy you some extra bearings, buy you some spare parts. Get you a set of calipers so you can measure some stuff. Never going to hurt to have the right tools for the job. So I won't put that back because that's not where I keep that stuff. Alright, so next we're going to go into, I believe, the last hard case that I have that I haven't shown the knives. And on this one, you'll have to bear with me because all these model numbers in this one, they don't really have names. They just have numbers. So let's see what we can do here about getting the video raised up and see if we can get this opened and show what's in here. All right, so this is the last big hard case that I've got that I haven't gone through yet. These are my two sons, my 6-leaf, and just some random replica knives in the back. Some of the nicer ones, so let's just start going through them. This is the Tucson TS 390. It's got D2 blade steel. It is a big chonker of a knife. It is super heavy. The blade drops like a guillotine. Alright, next we have another, these are pretty much all full titaniums. This is the TS 430 in N690 blade steel. I really like the scales on this one. I like that blade shape also. I actually bought another one of these because I'm going to anodize one. Don't know what kind of color pattern I'm going to do on it yet, but I am going to do a color pattern on one. Next, we have another large knife. This is one of their cheaper D2 models, I believe. This is the TS 36. You can see it's got lightning anno on the back part and the bolster. Up here at the front, it's got gold. It's also got a lightning anodized clip. Another super cool blade shape. It's catching that light for sure. So that was the TS 36 in D2. Next, we have another large knife. That is their gold. Tucson does some awesome anodization. I'm really impressed with their lightning anno. The better you get the knife looking before you anodize it, the better it looks after. So they get their knives really mirror polished before they even begin the anodization process. This is the TS 450 in 14C 28N blade steel. This one's got a different shaped blade, not your average. One thing about Tucson is they will release a knife and then they'll release it later in a better steel. I'm not sure if that's the case with that one. This is one of their other large knives. This is a button lock knife. And this one is gold anodized everywhere, pretty much gold and blues. This one is the, luckily these have the numbers on them. This is the TS210 in M390 steel. And if you're not familiar with Tucson, you can get these knives on auction for less than $100 on eBay, which is an awesome price. This is a great button lock knife. Very good action, very smooth, great blade shape, M390 blade steel. So Tucson is a great value knife. They are a Chinese manufacturer. Here is one of their prettier anodized knives. This is the, I think it's the one, let's see. This is the TS, this is a night morning design. And of course, it does not have the number on it. It says M390. This might be the TS196. Maybe somebody can look it up and tell me in the comments what number this is. It wouldn't take me long to figure it out. I'll just go to my eBay and figure it out, but I can't remember all these model numbers. This is another one. This is a purple, it's an older version. I believe my sister gave me this knife. This is a TS194 in M390. No, she didn't give me this one. I bought this one off eBay. TS194 in M390. But like I said, you can get these knives for less than $100 at auction. They're usually $130, $140, can be up to $180 on the buy it now price. This is another super cool knife. This is the TS269 in M390. Super cool blade design on it. The anodization is super cool on it also. Beautiful knife. Next, we will go to another beautifully anodized one. Both sides are anodized on it. This is a Rye design TS298 in M390. TS298 M390. This is live, Nick Martino. I believe it says it's live, doesn't it? If you got a question, you ask away. Showing off some of my last case of knives here. Well, welcome. Thanks for stopping in and checking out my video. Just going over my collection. I've already talked about Reddit some. I've talked about custom knives versus production knives. And now I'm going over my Tucson, my last case of nicer knives. This is the Tucson 822. I didn't even know they had an 822. This is a, wait, that doesn't seem right. I could have sworn the number on this one was something else. It says 822 on it, M390. It's another night mooring design. Yeah, man, I love knives too. That's why I started this live every morning. This is only the 5th one, so not many people know about it. I'm just trying to grow my channel. I figured if I did it at the same time every morning, we would start getting more people show up and talk about knives. This is the TS349 in D2 steel with the nice micarta handles. I've got this same knife in full titanium. Let's see, yep, right beside it. With the full anodized titanium. This is a front flipper. It's a littler knife. It's a little chode, little stout thing. Let me see. Let's go to the big boy. Now, this is a big knife. Got carbon fiber on this side. It's got full titanium on this side. It's got a nice fuller there that you can reverse flick off of. And my hands are big, and this one, my hand, I mean, it wraps around my hand. It's a giant knife. Probably close to 4-inch blade, if not 4 inches. This is the TS, I can't even read that, TS448. And it's got their proprietary steel, the YJ01-V1. These knives, though, like I said, you can get these for less than $100 on eBay auction, which is crazy for M390 knives. This is another button lock of theirs with a nice milling, nice clip. I sold one of these on eBay. I anodized it in a two-tone. I anodized the lower parts in one color, then sanded it, and then did the top in another color. Well, welcome, Derek. Yeah, you're welcome to lurk. You can listen to me talk about knives. TS195, is that, this one is, and I don't even remember what model this is. I've got another one back here in the box that I haven't even opened yet. I was going to anodize. This one is one of the ones that says Tucson in the milling. One of their billboard knives. Not normally a fan of holes, but I kind of liked this one. I like the blade shape on it. I like the size of it. I like larger titanium knives. I appreciate y'all both being here. This one is the TS383 and M390 steel. Yeah, and you can get these for like $80. It's crazy. Oh yeah, the integral front flipper. Okay. Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about. I don't believe I have one of those. This was one of the first ones I bought off eBay auction. Yeah, I love holes too. As long as they're, yeah, well, we won't get into that. Nowadays, you never know what kind of holes people do actually like. You have to be careful discussing holes. Yeah, this one is pretty. I like the milling on it. Tucson does a great job on their, yeah, I like Frag too. Their anodization is great. This one is, did I already say the model number? I think I did. TS308 and M390. Yeah, this was one of the first ones I bought off eBay. This is another button lock that they have, and I don't know why I bought this one. It's okay. It's just one of the larger ones. I got on an auction kick, and I just started buying a bunch. Like, and I couldn't stop. I mean, it's got cool patterning on it. Yeah, the blade grinds are great. And the fact that this is a Keanu design. This is the TS409 in M390. And this one is numbered number 148. So I don't know if it's a limited edition or not. This is a cool, super cool with the carbon fiber crossbar lock that they sell. When I first got into the Reddit subreddits, this was one of the knives that I discussed with a friend I made on there. He ended up being an idiot, but we won't get into that. We were bidding against each other on eBay, and we found each other on Reddit, and so we decided that we would let each other know if we were bidding so we wouldn't outbid each other. And that worked out great. This is the TS429. And the milling on it is just gorgeous. I don't know if you can see those milling lines. Let me see. Yeah, I got to figure out how to get this angle right with the light. All this part has got lines milled. All this part has milling lines. All that part has milling lines. Same with that. The flipper tabs, pretty cool. They're kind of wide. They're a different style. This is a Rye design. He makes some super cool knives. I like a lot of his. Tucson's just been, yeah. Well, I live in Tennessee, so I'm a Titans fan. So this knife reminds me of the Titans colors as well. I'm not necessarily a Titans fan, but you know, you got to support your own state team. This is one that my sister gave me. She's into knives also. This is another night mooring design. This is an older model in D2, and I can't remember what the model number is on this one. It is micarta and titanium, half and half. You can see the micarta on this side, titanium on this side. She actually kind of introduced me to Tucson. I think I'd had one, but I didn't know how popular they were in the knife scene to people that have been into knives for a while. This is another one she gave me with some nice micarta. This is another, this is 14C28N. This is a Jelly Jerry design. Very aggressive blade shape. I like, yeah, you definitely need to check out some Tucson's. This is one of the newer ones I bought. This one has some nice milling on it too. You can see down here on these lines, on the clip, on the back. Nice milling here. They're really getting into their CNC work and trying to, this one has a super cool blade grind too. Let me grab my towel and wipe it off here. They do come, Tucson is notorious for coming drenched in oil. They have oil everywhere, and I get it. If you're going to be having a bunch of knives on shelves in China and don't know when you're going to sell them, it's better to have them just encased in oil than have them with no oil and they rust. Like I said, this was one of the newer ones I bought on auction. This is the TS17 in M390. And I believe I got this knife for like $72 or something. I mean, where else can you get a full titanium M390 knife for $72 with that much milling? I mean, you just can't beat the value. This is their mortise and tenon knife. This knife is cool because it has no screws at all in the knife. So the way you disassemble it, it comes with a little tool. And what you do is you hook that tool in the back here. Let me see. You pull this down. You pull the back spacer down. It's called their mortise and tenon knife. Then you slide this piece right here back into that hole. Then up here at the front, you take that tool and you slide it into this little hole right here. And you slide this piece out from behind the pivot. This is what's putting tension on the pivot to hold it in place. You slide it back out of the way. I'll let you know in just a second, Derek. And then the knife comes apart. But it has no screws. I believe it's the TS88, but I could be wrong. Let's see. Night mooring design, M390. I will take the time to look that up for you because I thought it had the name on it. So let's go right here and let's type in. Let's type in Tucson. Hold on. Tucson mortise and tenon. Yeah, TS88. So I was right. Fair Use Act. Yeah, the way you take it apart is like this right here. Let's see if he goes through it. Process pretty easy. Yeah, there we go. So you take that tool.
Before I did the front, I don't know. And I don't really care, actually, right now. Okay, so I'm going to take this out, open the blade, because I have a feeling this whole backspacer is going to flip on me. Yeah, there it is, like that. Okay? So I got the back spacer. Release. So this back of this knife now, this pin will slide back, and then it can come all the way out. See? Okay, now, doing this on this table right on top of here. No cloth underneath. Maybe I should put one down here just for laughs. Put one of my Steve Kluver destroyed cloths down here and then on the bottom. Okay, are we good? And then there's our little tool. Okay, put the knife back in here. Okay, so now we got a big mess, right? So now, I reckon we can push this
little piece out.
Pin through, take this out, and now we're going to have a bunch of things falling out here. See, we've got bearings already coming. And then, of course, this was just a pin going.
All right, so that's how that one comes apart. Oh, yeah, he had an echo because he was coming out of my speaker. Sorry. It was picking it up. I should have muted my mic while he was talking, but you live and you learn. Like I said, this is just my 5th broadcast, so I'm trying to get OBS Studio down. I've got another camera that I can show side views of stuff, and I can walk around with it, take it into the kitchen if we do some writ dyeing or something. I've got the browser window. I've got my static camera. So yeah, TS88. Appreciate it, Nick. All right, this is another one that my sister actually anodized. She anodized this one herself. Oh, thanks, Derek. Yeah, I decided I'll just do them every day at the same time, and eventually more people will join. I have the ability to take Zoom calls and add them in to the screen and hear what they have to say. So I hope it becomes actual knife talk instead of just me talking. I'm going to try to respond to chat as much as I can. Another cool design. I think this is just this is another night mooring design. I don't know the number on this one. One thing I respect about Tucson is they're really proud of the city they're from in China, and I believe it says it around the pivot there. This is a carbon fiber one they have. I have some carbon fiber knives. I'm mainly just like, oh, thanks, Nick. I appreciate it. Get some more people here in the mornings. This is the TS191 in M390. It's another big boy. Oh, thanks. I'll let her know you said she did a great job. Yeah, she's pretty handy. I guess we both are. I've done quite a few mods myself. I'll show you some of my anodization here in a second. This one is a wild shaped knife. Super cool. The jimping on the back, very positive grip on this knife. You don't feel like you're going to lose it, that's for sure. Finger gets tucked in behind that flipper tab, and that jimping on the back is not too aggressive. And that blade, super cool knife. And like I said, all this knife for less than $100 with the M390. I mean, you can't beat it. And we have just a full micarta, a cheaper knife. This is one of their cheaper knives. You can get some of these knives for $40 and $50. This is a Rye Designs again. TS425. This is in K110 steel. Another, well, my sister is probably more of a man than me or you combined. But we won't get into that either. But yeah, I do like chicks that are into knives. There's that one blonde girl that does great on YouTube that everybody watches. She seems to know about knives, so I can't say she's just a let's see, what's the word for it? Showpiece. She's not just a pretty face. She's actually does like knives, and I can't remember her name at the moment, but I'm sure y'all both know who I'm talking about. Yep, that's her. Why does she have the name Backdoor? Like, that makes, I don't even want to get into that, but yeah, I think that might be her name. You know, she's the attractive 27, 28-year-old blonde girl with long hair that goes to all the blade shows and all that stuff. Yeah, I think that's her name. Oh, yeah, her name's not Melissa Backdoor then. We could find her. It wouldn't be hard to go to YouTube right here, and I guarantee you if I type in knife and girl, she pops right up. There she is.
The XOK Gravity Cram Bit actually comes with a non-sharpened trainer model, so you can live your ninja fantasy and flip it safely around without the worry of ever getting cut. And then if you want, you can get another trainer version of this knife and pretend you are an anime hero for hours. Eventually, you can level up to the sharpened version, which I recommend only using the way it is intended to be used. The XOK Gravity Cram Bit actually comes with a non-sharpened.
Yep, that was her. Melissa Backwoods, not Backdoor. But, well, we know where your mind was going. Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad thing being one of her pockets. I bet her pockets are pretty big now with all her YouTube followers. All right, on to the next one. We're almost done with the Two Sons. I think I'll stop with the Two Sons today. And I might show y'all a couple. What did you ask if I did, took the lightning ammo off the Wii sword fin? Yeah, I wasn't the one that did that, but that is my knife, yes. Derek. I bought it that way off Knife Swap. Carla, I don't think I've seen her. Anyway, let's see. What model number is this? Oh, I don't know. It's another night mooring design, M390. It's not hard to find these on eBay. This one's got carbon fiber on one side and titanium on the other. Then we have the little guy, Two Son, front flipper. Whoops. Didn't get that done right. This is M390 Wong design. This one is not that difficult to find either. A great place to find Two Sons besides eBay is White Mountain Knives. This I got the same time as I got that other new one. I said I got this one. I got this one and this one the same, pretty much the same day. I really like the design of this one. It's just a simple titanium. You can use the front flipper real easy. This is the TS 483 and utilization. I think I saw Discerning Man review this knife. I like the blade shape. I like the beefy chunkiness. Let's see. Yeah, I use Blade Binge. I believe this is my last Two Son. I actually sell knives on there and buy knives on there. The last knife I bought off there, internal milling. Yes, they do weight reduction on some of them. Some of them they don't. They're not nearly as heavy. I've got scales sitting right here, so we could check the weight on some of these. This one, looks like they just milled out. Yes, this one has the internal milled out. You can see down in there, they just milled out some just big rectangular pockets on this one. They didn't do any intricate milling on the inside, but they did do some weight reduction milling. This one reminds me a lot of a Migron knife. And I got this one just recently too. Well, they got the oil on them. This is the something 14C28N. I should have like a spreadsheet or something with these on there. This is a Tucson. A lot of people seem to like. This is the... this is not the same model as that other one with the red, white, and blue, but it is a crossbar. This is the TS433 in K110. It's a cool knife. I like the finish on the blade, and it's got butter action on the crossbar. And I like crossbars that'll catch the blade at any point when you let it go, or it'll just drop it. Lets me know the D10 will be good on it. The S-Tau Kunwu. Then we get into a few of my replicas. You might know what this one is. You can probably tell by the pivot. If you're into Chinese knives and replica knives, you'll know what that one is. I don't know really on my channel what I can say and what I can't, so. This is a Penguin Plus that I got a good deal on, and I did the anodization on this one. I got tired of the silver and just went to this gold color. Just a quick anodization on it. Then we get into my few 6-leaf knives. 6-leaves are made in the same city, and I think they are actually affiliated with Tucson. I used to think they were their cheaper brand, but I've learned that's not the case, and they're not actually owned by Tucson. But I believe somebody that helped start Tucson kind of branched off and makes 6-leaf knives, because they're two alike, and they're in the exact same city, and the quality is pretty much right on par. They have some super cool knives too. This one, yeah, your taste does change over time. And instead of like getting rid of knives, I just keep buying more. I've got over 600 now, which is kind of ridiculous. I don't even want to think about the money I've spent. This is a button lock 6-leaf. This is a Rye Designs again. See, they use the same designers. This is the SL33 with 8 CR steel, so they are more budget for sure. I don't think any of my 6-leafs have M390. This is one of my giant 6-leafs. That one's got a cool blade shape. I like the pokiness of this one. This one, I don't know. When I see blades with that shape, I just want to stab something. Like I just want to poke something. Anybody else get that feeling? Yeah, never count, never add up value. I try not to. I've got a picture where I laid out, like, when I got to over 400. This is the SL08, by the way. This is by Rattlesnake Designs. When I had over 400, I laid them all out on one table. I've got a big table in there. And, yeah, it was kind of shocking. This is a cool little 6-leaf. It reminds me of the Max Ace. Hell, I talked about it yesterday. It was one that I anodized. Yeah, it did take a minute. I can show you a picture. Maybe. Let's see. Give me just a second. Let me talk amongst yourselves for a second while I try to find that picture. Let's see. Reddit. Profile. Posts. Scroll way down. Hold on, give me just a second. Collection. All right, here we go. Come on. All right, so there we go. Here is the picture. Well, that's not the picture for sure. Hold on. Wrong browser. There we go. There's when I had, you can see a lot of my original two sons, and as we go down through there, my Kaisers, my Cold Steels. Anyway, that was when I laid them out at first, when I first got a count, and I've probably got 200 more since then. So, yep, it was a big table. All right, a few more and then we'll be done. Let's see, I did that little, oh, this is the one I modded not long ago. This is a Terramundi River Wolf by the other Demco brother. This one had a giant flipper tab, which I deleted. I don't go into other people's lives. I get annoyed from Metal Complex's lives because he burps and he's goofy as hell. I mean, I can't fault him. He is the #1 knife YouTuber, I guess. But he's just a little too goofy in his lives. I'm not quite as goofy as him. I have a great sense of humor, but anyway, on this knife, I deleted the flipper tab that used to be right here. I rounded it out very nicely. I put in a finger choil, and it did not have this thumb stud. So the Demco logo was a circle on this side, so I put it right there. This was an M390 knife that sold originally for $300, and then Knife Joy had it on sale for $140. And I didn't like the flipper tab, and I don't like when knives only have a flipper tab, so I deleted the flipper tab and made it like I wanted it. And the thumb stud works great now. I placed it, I tried to get it out of the way of the TM logo, and I put it right over top of the Demco logo. I think it's not Andrew, maybe it's, I don't know the other Demco brother's name, but this was one of his designs. Full titanium and M390. Great value on a knife. And we'll go across the back real quick. This is a Borka Marfione collabo. You can see, what does that say on there? I think it was like 3 people. Beringi, Marfione, and Borka made this knife. This is a replica. This knife says F off across it in pictures. And then this is the other Marfione and Borka collabo. One of these is like the SBSP and one of them is the SBKF. And I can't ever remember which one is which, but that's those two. That's another cool one. That one's super cool. Then we have a few of my Yankee Rye designs. These are super cool knives that are on eBay and sell them lots of places. That's the brand name Yankee, but they're really Rye Designs knives. And this is the 005 and L-Max. I've got the 006 on the way. This is the 004. Another super cool knife. This one is in M390. This should be the 003. And this one is in, well, I can't see. This is in S90V. That's the 003. John, yeah, I think it was John. Was the other brother. This is a nice titanium replica of a very popular knife. I can't justify spending Microtech prices a lot of times. This is another one. This is the good one with the logo on the clip. I don't know if you can see it. Can't tell how the light's hitting it, but yeah, there you go. See the logo. Of course, we know the blade shape on that one. Anybody that's been into knives knows those two. Then we have the Satori, which is a custom knife factory. Satori, another super cool knife. This knife actually should have a fuller let's see. This is a Barker Designs Hokkaido. This one actually is a black blade. I don't like black blades, but you know, it is what it is. Hokkaido is a nice knife, though. Then this is a Warhound custom. This one is a replica also. If you look up the prices on some of these, you'll know why. Another cool knife. This is a big boy. And seems to be very popular nowadays. Yep. All right. Thank you for saying I got a nice collection. I try. This is a Land 140. This is an inexpensive knife. It's a nice big knife by Land. And then last but not least, in this case, we have one of the first knives I modded. Did a flipper tab to lead on. This is the Diamondback replica. Also took out the back spacer and put in 2 barrels to make it more like the original. DSK Diamondback. Yep, that's a big chunky knife. So that does it for that case. I did say that I would show you, oops. Well, real quick, hold on. Hold what you got. Let me move this down a little bit so it's not showing all the mess. Give me just a second. I'll show you the first knife I anodized. I don't know how it'll look on camera, but I decided to buy a cheap $40 titanium knife on Amazon to do. And, man, I knew the colors wouldn't come out as good as they look in person. But it starts off gold down here and it fades up to the purples and blues. And same on that side. So that is the first one that I lightning anodized. $45 knife. It was a good one to practice on. There you can see the colors a little better there. Doesn't look too bad. I got that one pretty shiny before I did it. That's the key, because however it looks before you start is how is the best it could ever look when it's done. There you go. See the color's okay on that one. And then let's see. Oh yeah, in my main case. Oh shit. Shoot. I'm trying not to curse a bunch on this stream because I know kids watch knives too. But you ask about that sword fin. All my Wii's are in this case. These are 90 that of my top of the top ones. Can't even see the front row here. Let me raise this up just a little bit more. Come forward a little bit. All right, there we go. Yes, that's the Spree. It's the Trogon. Yeah, there it is right there. Just a solid titanium sword fin. And then I believe also in here there's a Django XL. These are my nicest knives. These front 2 rows are all Wies. Then we get into like my J-Cape Mini, my J-Cape, my LEK or whatever, first chisel grind, something obscene. I've been collecting for a little over a year now. Yeah, the Quiet Carry LCT. There's the LCT. I got it not long ago. I've been collecting for about 14 months. There's a Luft Concepts Avant. It's a cool knife. There's a Pena Knives Mini Diesel. Riot OEM. Let's see. There's a Riot Zorro. It's a super cool knife. Wingman EDC Jet. Another cool little knife. I was gifted this knife not long ago by a guy that I just helped out answer some questions. He gave me a tactile Maverick for free. We were working on a trade, and this one was brand new. And I was going to trade him this, my Chavez Redemption Street over here somewhere. I don't even know where it is. Oh, yeah, right here. I was going to trade him this Redemption Street with the marbled carbon fiber scales. And we went to do the trade, and he asked me for his address. And he wouldn't give me his to send the knife to him. He said, just keep it, man. He was like, I appreciate your help. So I got this Maverick for free just for helping a guy out with some questions. He wanted to know, he had questions about what knives he thought, or I thought he might like. And I suggested some knives to him, and he ended up buying them and liking them. And then he sent me this one. Brand new in the box, basically. I was going to show... This is another knife I modded. This one had a big flipper tab. This is the Beyond EDC Chunk. And this one did not have a hole at all. So I put a hole in it. Super cool. I polished up that blade too. But this hole on this one, man, the thumb fits perfect in it. This Chunk is a cool knife. It's not very heavy. Oh, thank you, Sparrow. Yeah, I've spent quite a bit of money. Kind of ridiculous. That's oh, you know, one of those knives. I can't even remember. Got way too many knives. Yeah, good morning, Greg. This is the Freeman Knives Voodoo. Good morning, EDC reviewer. Just talking knives. I've already gone over this case, but I was going back over a few of them. This is a Bestech Supersonic. Berg Blades Tick. Let's see, what else? Super cool, you know, Ankilo. Ankilo. I don't know how you say it. This is District Knives Apollo. Then all my Knoll knives. I've got the full Knoll collection now. You got the Ghoul. That was a terrible opening. You got the Ghoul. You got the Grace. Grace was the last one I got. I love the grinds. I love these multiple grinds. Yeah, the Barber button lock. I almost got a Barber. This is the Raiden. Yeah, it's the Raiden. This is the Raku. And then this is the Voodoo. And I swear that's supposed to be black micarta, but it looks green. The hell? I know I'm not colorblind. And we got the Vostede Psyop. Kunwu Django XL. The Arcform Theory. Another cool knife. Arcform's going out of business. Fox Knives Tur. I got that one on a trade. Anybody want to buy it? Griffin Scout. Big boy. There's that chunk. Super high. Alright, then we got back here on this row, I've got a bunch of Jasper Vox knives, the Viper. This is the Kiyomi, the Viper Odino, the Viper Fortis. These are all designed by him, Jasper Vox knives. I get hooked on a certain designer and I want a bunch of his knives. This was one of the first ones I did a lightning anno on too. And why can I not think? Oh, the Meerkat. Yeah, it's the Meerkat. MagSafe's Meerkat. This is what I said that six leaf kind of looked like. Then a Ferrum Forge collabo with Mass Drop called the Falcon. It's a cool shaped knife. And it goes right along with another one I got not long ago, which is the Ferrum Monster Glide Strike. Looks a lot like that knife. Kind of got on a kick. And then I got, let's see, I got a couple of those Forest Elf F, what is it, 05 Plus, I believe. Is that what it says on there? F03 Plus, M390. This is the Zerkatai one, and the one that makes the noise when you open and close it. It's got that. It's got a tuning fork mounted to the inside of the scales. It's got, like, if you have those old music boxes, you can't see it inside. Yeah, you can see it right down in there. There's a bunch of those little metal fingers like on the old music boxes, and it's mounted to the inside of this side of the scale. So when you close it, it makes a noise. I don't know. Everybody's about their ting nowadays. So I got both the Zerkatai version of that and the regular version. Yeah, Laconico. If you want to know, so Laconico, I got my. I'm not gonna get in. I'm not gonna go through everything in this one, but real quick in my in my Kaiser box over here, I got a Laconico that was pretty cool because it was a prototype. So it's the Intrepid Laconico, and it's the Kaiser. But if you look at it, it was before they came up with the name of it. And you ask about Blade Bench. I got this one on Blade Bench from Way of Knife. They ran across it somehow. But it says Laconico TBD, to be determined. And the blade finish on this is a satin instead of a stone wash, which is different than the production knife. So that's pretty cool. We got a prototype. Don't know how well the heat treat is on this one since it's a prototype, but you can see I've got a few other knives that I can cut with. And Laconico has a bunch of designs for Kaiser. T1, Militol, Beyond, Torngat, Veritas, VK1FL, Sparrow. Hey, there's a Sparrow. I saw a Sparrow in here. No, it's a prototype Intrepid. The Gemini's little, looks a lot like it, but no, that's the T. Is that the Shoal? Yeah, that's the Shoal. Hold on, Gemini's right here. Yeah, you can see the size difference in the Intrepid and the Gemini. This is the Gemini right here, and this is the Intrepid. But it's the prototype to be determined Intrepid. Yeah, but I love Laconico. It's got some great designs. And then Justin Lundquist, I really like his designs. This is another cool one. This is the Kaiser Wanderer. It's got those clean lines. There you go. There's a Wanderer. This is my Kaiser box. All these rows. There's a John Gray, the GPB1. Big crazy knife with the big giant Phillips head pivot. The SLT is another cool one he did around the same time. And then this has got a cool story too. This is the this was owned by Jason Grant, who makes the gripper knife, and it was designed by Matthew Christensen. But this was owned by Jason Grant, and he sent it off to get this crazy anodization pattern on it. I think Way of Knife might have done this one also, but it's got a little cool history behind it. And it's the Kaiser Critical. And then I did a flipper tab delete on this one because this one had the most obnoxious penis looking flipper tab. It stuck out like about this far. It stuck out 3/4 of an inch to an inch. So I decided, since it ruined the lines, it stuck way out over here, and so I put a nice finger choil in it. It used to take up half of this and sticking out with that tab. Yeah, so anyway, these are my Migrons with the, I got the vein and the Moral. And another interesting fact, there used to be a replica / clone company called Samir, Samier. And then that company just kind of disappeared. And people wonder what happened to it. Well, that company turned into Migron. He went legit and quit making clones and started making Migron. And that's the owner of Migron, Sam, now, is the guy who used to be Samir, who made the good quality replicas. And across the back, I've got a bunch of my Kubi titanium ones. I don't like that tiger stripe, but I'm going to redo these sometime, the anodization. But I got a bunch of these from White Mountain Knives back when they were having their sale. I got all the big titanium Kubis that they had. The Interflow, that's a cool knife. Well, I've been broadcasting for about an hour and 15 minutes now, guys. I appreciate you spending your time with me. Appreciate you talking knives with me. I've got the ability to do some Zoom calls, so pretty soon we need to get it to where if y'all can find a microphone, or I can get a phone number too, to where you can just call up via a phone number. I can do it with Google Voice, and we can talk about knives together. We can get 3 or 4 of us in here. Nick, I appreciate it, man. EDC reviewer, I appreciate you being here. I saw Sparrow was in here. I don't know if he left. There was a guy that said he was just going to be kind of lurking. Remember who that was? Derek was in here. Yeah. So I appreciate y'all. We will do this again same time tomorrow, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you can be here, be here. We'll talk more about knives. I'll come up with some more cool topics to talk about. If you go back at the beginning of this video, I talked a little bit about custom knives versus production knives, and a little bit about Reddit. And yeah, that's it, guys. I appreciate your time. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit that like button. Tell your friends about me. Be here. Be square. Yes, I'm into flashlights. I've got a bunch actually right here near me. I don't have a bunch, but I've got some of the bigger ones. This one takes that big battery, 28650 maybe or something. I don't even remember what number. Let's see. It's probably got it on it. Hell, I don't know. But yeah, I've got a few flashlights. I don't have like what is that that brand? Olight? Olight? Is it Olight? I think it might be Olight. Yeah, I mean you got to have a good flashlight. Camera. There you go. Works. There's some. Anybody got epilepsy? Oh, that's kind of weird. You can see the whole cob LED in there. Yeah, I've got I used to collect flashlights before I got into knives. Yeah, Olight, yeah. All right, guys. Have a good one. That's what I carried yesterday. Christensen Maverick S and the Spy My 2. And I worked on this one last night, put some new washers in it. That's at the beginning of the video. Custom Doom for MF Doom. Modified Snex Buster. Glow sticks and menthol and raves. I don't know anything about it. Vicks Vapor Rub and glow sticks. That's a wee Snex Buster. If you're talking about this one, this was a custom Way of Knives custom package deal, but that's a wee Snex SNECX Buster. Big old boy. They make a mini Buster. This one had demolished bearings, so I had to swap them out last night. And now it's got perfect action. Bloop. Yeah, check out these bearings. I got a bag of bearings. If you get into knives, you gotta have bearings. But look at the ones that came out of this knife. Let's see. Where are they at? Right here. Look at these bearings. You ever had this happen? Where they're metal and they all came out of the little holes. I guess somebody tightened the pivot a little too tight. Wasn't me. But yeah, these bearings were completely trash. So I actually bought some skiffs for it, but I had some of these that I put in there temporarily. And you can actually buy decent skiff-like bearings from China for about half the price. These are good bearings. Both of these are almost like skiffs. Surge Rook. I don't. Never even heard of that. I'm going to have to check that knife out. Appreciate you for mentioning it to me. That's what Knife Talk is all about. Blade Talk is all about. Learning about knives you don't know about and checking them out. I think on episode 2 we did some dyeing, Rit dye. This was a Kaiser I bought for $27 off Amazon. It's called the Yacht. And I showed everybody how to Rit dye your jade scales to different colors. Yeah, I will look it up for sure. I've got like my ferric chloride right here. And I've got my full power supply right over here for doing anodization. You see I got my power supply. Oh my goodness, everything's backwards. Got my knife sharpener. I got my ferric chloride. Just random knife stuff just sitting around. Along with a bunch of stickers on the table, and a bunch of my knives for comparisons, PM2, PM3s for my unboxings. But yeah, anyway, appreciate y'all being with me. We'll see you tomorrow morning if you're around. I will look up that Surge Rook. And thank you again.